Hello and welcome back to my lessons. Today I'm going to be talking about intermittent fasting. So first of all, this is not a diet. You're just restricting your eating window. You're not eating every 2 to 3 hours, just like you're told. You're eating in an eating window of 8 hours. This can actually be set to your own choosing. For example, a common way is to skip breakfast, and another way is to skip your evening meal. Now this is what I do, but this might not fit for some people because you're going to bed hungry sometimes and it's not very nice, but I don't know, it's your own preference. So if you're new to this, maybe start with 12 a.m. till 8 p.m. so you're just gonna skip your breakfast basically. So during that eating window you're fasting for 16 hours, including your sleeping for 8 hours. So this is gonna make it so much easier to do. If you're new, once again, I would maybe this might be too difficult doing 16 hours straight away because you're just not used to it. Well, maybe start with 12 hours and then move to 14 and then do a 16-hour fast. That's how I would set it out. This is actually going to mimic our ancestors. You know, they never had a store to go to in order to retrieve groceries. They would go for days without eating and then they would have a big meal. So this is where it's adapted from. Now, fasting causes optimal function and influences biological benefits to the body. We're taught to eat every 2 to 3 hours plus snacks to keep our metabolism high. But it's wrong. You know, we're never made to do this really. Ask a person telling you to eat every 2 to 3 hours, some evidence that shows this is beneficial. The truth is they can't because there's no research being done to prove this. However, everybody is teaching it. So, it really does not make sense. But to add, intermittent fasting can be quite difficult if you don't know these benefits. I've spoke to some people, they've got rid of stuff like diabetes from just doing intermittent fasting. It's crazy, but it's so good to see that, this is having an impact on people's lives. But, I think intermittent fasting is something you should really look into, especially when it's done properly. You do feel like you're performing a lot better as a human. You can remember more, you can learn more. So yes, I would definitely recommend this. Let's get into some more details. So, intermittent fasting increases a chemical called BDNF, which stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This increases neuroplasticity, which is your body's ability to make new brain cells and making neural connections. You need BDNF to do this. It also protects the new muscular junction. This is where the nerve stimulates the muscle fiber, so as people age, this breaks down, meaning your muscular strength declines because you're losing your muscular junction capability. Now, BDNF is going to counteract this, meaning by intermittent fasting and exercise as you age, you keep your muscle mass. Just think of the muscle as the engine and the muscular junction is the ignition. You need both to communicate to perform correctly. Now, it also activates brain stem cells. BDNF is the biological crucial link between thought, emotions and movement. Now, fasting increases BDNF by 50 to 400%. You can't do this any other way. One of the big areas which it increases in function is the hippocampus. Now, this is located deep in the temporal lobes. This is for higher learning and memory. So by intermittent fasting, you're going to increase your learning, you're going to increase your memory. This is also being shown to increase in neural health and prevent it from breaking down. So people with a deprivation in neural health lead to Alzheimer's, epilepsy and Parkinson's. A study was actually done with a group of mice with Alzheimer's. They put them on an intermittent fasting regime and this delayed their memory loss by 6 months. So just think of this, mice have a shorter lifespan than humans, meaning the equivalent would be around 20 years delayed memory loss for humans. So imagine if we could prevent such diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, epilepsy. So people should really be looking at doing intermittent fasting. So now I want to talk about how intermittent fasting impacts how the body uses energy, which would be through ketones, but I'll get into that in just a second. Now, the natural order the body utilizes energy would be when you consume a meal, your body's going to break this meal down. The first thing it goes for is the blood sugar, which is the glucose. Once that's gone, it goes for the glycogen stores in the liver and the muscle. Once that's gone, all is left is your fat stores. Now this is going to take around 6 to 8 hours after a meal to reach. So people who recommend eating every 2 to 3 hours, it doesn't make sense because you're never going to reach your fat stores and lose fat if you're always topping up your glucose and glycogen. So hopefully that makes sense. Intermittent fasting affects your body because it starts to use ketones. Now what's going to happen is your body's used to utilizing glucose for energy, and when your body starts to use ketones, what is happening is your liver's breaking down fat, which is changing it to ketones. Ketones is basically a cleaner fuel than glucose. It has memory protective effects when you use ketones, increasing memory and learning. It also does this cool thing called autophagy, which is basically cleansing the body of dysfunctional cells and regenerating new healthy ones. Just like when skin shreds, you're going to get a new layer of skin. This is exactly what's going to happen. This is autophagy, but basically it's dysfunctional cells going out, new healthy ones coming in. So by intermittent fasting, you massively stimulate autophagy, increasing longevity and brain function. So you're going to still look a lot younger, you're going to be a lot healthier, your brain function is going to be so much better, you're going to be able to think more, increase your memory and learning. So this is all the things that intermittent fasting does for the body, and there's so many more. Okay, so hopefully this video helped you understand a little more. If you are interested in intermittent fasting and you have any more questions, please get in touch and I'll try and clear up those questions for you. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.